What's up, guys? This is Manafest. Welcome to the I'm a Fighter podcast. This is episode 25.
It's too late, it's my fate, I can't turn around. There's no fear in the mirror to hold me down.
What's up, guys? This is Manafest. Welcome to the I'm a Fighter podcast, where we want to entertain, inspire, and educate. And remember, a fighter isn't someone who never fails. A fighter is someone who never quits. And that's what's up. Well, hey, I'm recording this, and right now, on the pledge campaign, we are at 98%. What? Probably by the time you listen to this, we might even be at 99 or 100. You guys are so awesome, man. I want to thank you so much for your support. This record is done. It's mastered. It's in production. We got the shirts getting pressed. We got the hoodies. I got my friend Juliana putting all the files onto the USB skateboards. You get the audiobook. You get the new album. You get all my albums on that USB key, the skateboard USB key. It's so cool. And I just want to let you guys know too, if you have not pre-ordered, we are still going to keep that going even after we hit the 100%. And I'm releasing Edge of My Life next week. In fact, I'm going to release that on the podcast next week. So you make sure you stay tuned for that. And remember, everybody that pre-orders the new album through the pledge campaign, you get that course I did, Launching Your Career as an Artist. That's like a $30 course. You also get the Avalanche and No Plan B EP. You get the Fighter audiobook and ebook. Plus, you get the Overboard remixes. So go check that out. And then, of course, all the behind-the-scenes footage. And just, you get the stuff first, man. And yeah, I'm just so excited, man. We worked so hard on this album. I remember recording it with Joel, coming up with the ideas, being in the studio, the crazy trip I took when I flew from California to Chicago. Flight got canceled from Chicago to Detroit, so I had to drive. And I remember it took me hours to get a rental car, and I froze my feet off. And finally got to the studio, and I remember we got to record some more stuff. And then I had a baby. I had a daughter, London. And she is awesome and loving that. And I remember we had to put the album on hold for a little bit to finish this one song, which was Edge of My Life, which was the last track on the album. And then, just getting it all done. But I'm so stoked. We got some lyric videos coming, the music videos, and just so much stuff. So go to manafest.com. Where you can pre-order the record. There's a link to do that. And sign up for the email list so you can know all about the stuff that's going on, and when I got a new podcast, and when I'm touring, and just so pumped. So I got this idea from my wife, actually, for this podcast, and I want to break down one of the songs. And the song I chose that I wrote, I want to break down for you, and the lyrics and stuff, and just the concept is No Plan B. And the idea of having a no plan B mindset. And I just really believe that, you know what, I don't have a no plan. I don't have a plan B for me, but it's okay for God to. I wanted to be a pro skater. I wanted to do certain things that wanted to do them my way, wanted to go this way, but it didn't end up working out. And thank God it didn't. And thank God had a plan B for me and a different plan. And it ended up being, music. Being an artist, being an author, being a speaker, being a podcast recorder, you know what I mean? And looking back at it, I wanted to be a pro skater so bad. That's what I thought I wanted to do. And I just really believe that God knows us better than ourselves. But the idea of having a no plan B mindset comes down to one word, and that word is focus. You are focused on one thing, one goal. My wife said to me even again the other day, she was like, she's reading a scripture in Philippians, and it was about Paul talking about how I press towards the goal, to the high calling, to win the prize in Christ Jesus. And did you catch that? I said goal. I didn't say goals, plural. I said goal, singular, one focused goal, and chasing after that, putting all your energies into that. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. It's like, if you're looking over here, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that, and then you jump over here. And I've even learned even more that when you're not clear, having a no plan B mindset is about being clear and having clarity and knowing what you're called to do. And sometimes that's just sitting your butt down and writing it out, taking some time to be quiet and listen and say, this is what I'm going to do today. This is what I'm going to do this week. This is what I'm going to get accomplished this year. I'm going to focus on it. And I heard the word focus stands for follow one course until success. I'm going to say that again. Follow one course until success. That is so good. And that's so true, man. You know, you stick with it until you find success. And as I was sharing and doing the impossible iTunes message there on the podcast, that just because it doesn't happen today, if it doesn't happen tomorrow or next week, it doesn't mean you quit. You stay with it, man. You stay focused on it. And you don't think about like, oh, well, if this doesn't work out, well, then I'm just going to do that. And having that kind of lingering in the background, because if you have that kind of itching at your mind and scratching at your mental when you're going for your dream, it's kind of holding you back, and it's pulling you back from throwing yourself all in. And that's what a no plan B mindset is. It's throwing yourself all in and not thinking about anything else, not thinking about, well, if that doesn't work out, then I'll just go here, I guess. And, you know, it's kind of like my backup plan. And you know what? No. Don't have any backup plans, you know? And who is that warrior, or I wish I knew the comparison, but there's that big warrior winner guy that like took over a country, and what he did was this is going way back in like early, I don't know if it was 1920s, war times, but the dude landed with his whole army, and when they climbed up the mountain, he set all their ships on fire. So there was no other option than to conquer and to win. He burnt their ships. So it's like either we're going to win this war or we're not going home. We're dying. And talk about no plan B. You know, you got one option, man. You're either in or you're not. And, you know, not necessarily a huge fan. I like some of his stuff. Don't like some of his lifestyle, but I think he had a really good quote, and it's John Mayer. And I found this in an article a while ago, and it says, anybody who tells you to have a fallback plan are people who had a fallback plan that didn't follow their dreams, and they don't want you to follow your dreams either. So some people will be like, oh, you got to have a backup plan. Got to have a backup plan. Oh, just in case it doesn't work out. You know, you want to make sure you get that college degree or whatever. And I'm fully about education. I'm fully about constantly learning. I'm always taking courses. I'm always reading books. But this fallback plan, you know, you don't want to think about that. You know, sure, I get it, but you want to be so in where it's like do or die, man. I'm doing this. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to throw myself all in, and I'm going to figure it out. And you know what? That's what I kind of did with music. Like, sure, yeah, I was a computer guy before that, and I was making a lot of money. And I laugh at you people. So, some of these dudes that leave comments that like think I'm all about the money now because of music. Dude, I was broke when I went into music. I made money when I was in computers, and I just think it's so funny because it was just a really silly comment. I just had to mention that because I was making tons of money before I did music. So anyways, I had to say that. But, you know, when I quit my job and to go into music, you know, I didn't think about computers. I didn't want to think about going back to that because that's not what it was about. I wanted to chase the dream. I wanted to go after the music and reach people. And I had to ask myself, am I willing to trade my life for it? Am I willing to give myself all to this dream? Is it big enough? You know, I heard Dave Ramsey even said, when you're chasing your dream, you know, you want to make sure as you're climbing up that ladder that it's leaned against the right building. You know, because all of a sudden you get up there and you're like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. So it's so important to also know that what you're chasing after is worth it. I heard Jim Rohn say the other day, you know, as you're chasing after this dream, you know, do you know who you're becoming? And beware of who you become while you're in search of what you want. It's very, very powerful. But you want to have that no plan B lifestyle. You want to throw yourself all in. You want to, like, you know, leave it all behind. I'm focused. I'm going all in this. My hands on the plow. I'm not looking back, thinking about anything else. I got this plan A. This is what God's called me to do. I'm going for it. And if I fall on my face, whatever, I'm going to figure this out. And I'm going to stick with it. And you know what? I've said this before many times. I say it in the fighter book that, you know, it's easier to steer a moving ship than a ship that's not moving at all. Sure. What if you make a mistake? I still make mistakes and I find out things that don't work, but that's the same concept of failing as fast as you can so you can find out what works as you're going through it. And who is it again? Vince Lombardi said, I'm just got all these quotes today. Sorry, I'm just excited about this. But he said, I'd rather act on a plan, even if it's not the best plan. I want to see it through. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to throw everything into it, as opposed to the best plan that's not even acted upon. So you want to take whatever plan it is you have, your plan A, and you want to act on it. You want to go all in. Don't think, oh, well, maybe I should be doing this or maybe I should be doing that. No, write it out and say, look, this is what I'm going to go after and I'm going to make it happen. Well, I hope that inspires you guys today. I just want to kind of just tear apart, because I said I was going to be talking about this song, the song lyrics. So I pulled up the lyrics of No Plan B. And I just want to kind of just go through some of the lyrics that are my favorites in this song. Drop in with my face to the wind, spin 180 for the win. I'm talking about skateboarding. Some people think I'm talking about surfing as well, because I didn't surf when I wrote this song, but the idea of dropping in, but I can't find my feet. It's like I lost the beat. You know what I mean? Sometimes you feel like you've lost the rhythm of life and what you're doing, mid-air, and there's no plan Bs. The idea of being mid-air and just committed. Once you've thrown yourself off a set of stairs, once you've thrown yourself out there and you told people this is what you're doing, you're midair and you can't look back. There's no plan Bs. At the end of it, I say, makes no difference now, face myself or get taken out. The idea of facing yourself, what did I talk about? I quoted Plato in the Fighter book just about, to conquer self is one of the biggest things you can do. The biggest person you need to conquer is yourself, your own fears, your own insecurities, and overcome those. And of course, the chorus, it's too late, it's my fate, I can't turn around. There's no fear in the mirror to hold me down. I'm too far from the start, now I'm in too deep. I've come too far to turn back now. I gotta stick with the plan because there's no plan B. Yes, this is your fate, don't turn around. There's no fear in the mirror to hold me down anymore. I want to break down the bridge, where it's like, because this is the only road I've ever known. There's no way that I could start again. You know what I mean? And I want to just say, because the idea of this is the only road you ever known, you've done this, you've worked at this for so long and you're passionate about it. And it's like, there's no way I could turn around and start again. And I just want to encourage you. I'm not talking about the idea of if you've fallen down, you can't start a new dream. That's not what it's about. It's about not being mixed and double-minded and confused, because sometimes you have been hit down when you're after this dream and it's like, can you start again? Well, yeah, of course, man. And so that's one of my favorite songs. I just thought it was really important that I break this song down, and I'm going to break down another one next week and just keep going with stuff. But I want to thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. Do me a huge favor and rate it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think on iTunes. It helps this podcast get seen by more people so they can get this message and they can get inspired and get encouraged. And to find out when I'm going to be touring your area, because we got a bunch of shows coming up with the new album being dropped, which releases August 5th, the moment. Sign up on the email list at manafest.com, and so that you can find out when I'm coming to your town. You can find out more about the album. And I just want to encourage you, man, have an awesome week. Go for it. Crush it. Give it all you got. And remember, a fighter isn't someone who never fails. A fighter is someone who never quits. This is my song, No Plan B.
Face to the wind, spin 180 for the win, but I can't find my feet. It's like I lost the beat, mid-air and there's no plan Bs. Hit the streets, look before I leap again. Skeleton filled with adrenaline. How can I know that I got what it takes when I'm come so far through the rain? Bear the pain, makes no difference now. Face myself again, taken out. One more time, gotta live this loud. Back to the wall, no turn around. It's too late, it's my fate, I can't top of my soapbox. Papa said go sing like my tune's talk. Cool kid and I'm in the mood. Give me combo number 2. What's up with you? Do you